My name is Ethan Hawke, and I am here in Toronto at Deadline Studios um, uh, to celebrate the opening of our film, Wildcat, here at the Toronto International Film Festival. And the film sings a song of Flannery O'Connor.
My name is Maya Hawk, and I play Flannery O'Connor in Wildcat. Yeah, that's the
That's what you
information.
play.
That's who
Yeah,
I play. I also play characters from several of her stories,
that's true.
in case we need to be really detailed,
Yeah.
specific here. Well, we have always been really close and loved talking about literature and ideas, and was really lucky to grow up in a house with someone to talk to about all that stuff. And at one point, I had a teacher recommend me Flannery O'Connor, and I found her prayer journal sort of separately, and then my dad and I read it together over one very long summer. And then he ended up helping me adapt it into a monologue, and then slowly kind of figured
That
out
you used as an audition piece and stuff. It
that's
was
true. Yeah,
absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
thank you. And then we found this guy Joe Goodman who had the rights to her stories and letters and the prayer journal. Really, I just wanted to make a movie about the Flannery and the prayer journal, but he had this kind of treasure trove of available information and things to use. And my dad and I have always loved talking about kind of faith and imagination, and he can kind of take it from here, but we sort of saw a way to make a movie about our own relationship to the creative act as a spiritual act through the guise of Flannery O'Connor, who was a deeply creative and deeply faithful person.
Exactly. She said it. She gave Flannery O'Connor was a kind of springboard for uh, a chance for us to kind of disguise something really personal to us in the framework of a biopic. You know, every person's life is interesting, and there's always kind of a lie in movies that a life has a narrative, like this happened and that happened, and our lives are more a collection of moments. So you could make 25 different movies about Flannery O'Connor. You know, it's just what you choose to see about it.
You
No,
should say the thing that the guy said to you.
what do you say?
That you asked someone who used to know her.
Oh yeah, I in doing research for it, I talked to somebody who actually knew her. I said, "Well, I want to make a movie about Flannery O'Connor," and he said, "That'll be the most boring movie ever made." And she herself even said, "Anybody who ever writes a biography of me, it's gonna be really difficult. There's not much to say about a trip from the writing room to the chicken shed,"
Yeah.
which was what she struggled with lupus her most of her adult life. What do
You
you?
just have to do the punchline.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
going
oh,
to.
okay,
I'm getting to it, and so she didn't do a lot struggling with, and so this guy's saying that it was going to be an incredibly boring movie, and they said, well, we really want to make the movie about her imagination. And he went, that's a good idea. So that was the launching pad.
I knew I wanted to play this character, but I had no idea exactly what he's talking about, how you would make a movie about her that was interesting and that didn't artificially create plot in her life where there wasn't one, where you didn't like make a romantic relationship much more important than it ever was, which is very limited in its significance. Or, create some kind of big artificial drama about sickness, where that's the whole, you hear the person cough for the first time, and then, the movie's about 30 minutes from ending, that kind of classic thing. And so he had this incredible idea that he spent a summer reading the collected works of Flannery O'Connor and started to see these themes, like you see in a lot of writers' work, where characters start to come back, and those characters are often symbolically related to people in the life of the author. And the character that is most often in the stories is her primary relationship, which is with her mother, who we were lucky enough to have the fabulous Miss Laura Linney play, and as well as all the other characters. And so that was kind of his vision of how to make the movie about her imagination, was to draw from all of these stories where she was exploring her internal life, by fictionalizing aspects of it.
I read a really interesting quote the other day about how you can learn more about life from one well-examined dream as you can from 100 scientific experiments. And I thought that was kind of interesting relationship to our movie because we don't know Flannery O'Connor. We didn't know her. We don't know what she was really like. But she shared with us her dreams, and they're beautiful, magnificent dreams in these short stories that she wrote. And so we can really study these dreams, and you start to see her, and you start to see the Jim Crow South. You start to see the the soil that she grew in. Uh, and so different things start to appear that are really complex and interesting if you let it evolve.
A therapist once said to me that he could pick out any of his patients' dreams. If they were like submitted to him without a name, he could tell you whose dream was whose. It was inspiring and awesome. She just sets a bar for integrity and preparedness and passion that is so wonderful to have on set with you. Because as much as you can have in yourself, there are days you're tired, there are days, but there's no days where Laura shows that she's just not 100% committed. And it just made me want to do my absolute best every day. And just also to watch her go from character to character and to get to build those transitions with her and how we were handling that aspect of the story and with my dad. That was amazing.
Great actors really help you. They're both directing and acting are both interpretive arts, right? You have a set script and we're interpreting it. And Laura's and Maya are half directors. They're so passionate about their ideas that they help push the movie forward. They're so committed to their ideas that other people, the hair and makeup department, the production design, the cinematography, all kind of hinges off trying to capture this performance. And when the performer is a leader, everything flows.
It's one of the reasons it's very great to be directed by an actor or someone who's primarily an actor is that they feel that way. It's a really special way to get to practice acting. Honestly, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And what was so beautiful was to be around so many people that I love, working as hard as they've ever worked. I guess everyone set an example for each other, and every single person that came to set just like raised the bar of the level of commitment to the project. And I think that getting to be together and to watch each other work in such a close way, and to come back home at the end of each day and like laugh and cry and like talk about how to get through the next one. It's like a great thing about independent filmmaking is that you're like every single night, especially if you're staying with the director, is like a how are we gonna make tomorrow work? Yeah. And it's like
So you'd have to go to bed hearing me like, no, change that location. No, yeah.
But it was awesome, and it was just I don't know.
You said a really smart thing before we started, which is that if you're privileged and lucky enough to get to work with family, you have a target on your back, meaning you have to prove that you deserve that you warrant that. And as soon as you just think, oh, it's so wonderful that we're together, just magically it's going to be something worth somebody paying money to watch, it's really arrogant. And to not take the generosity that the world was showing us to let us have this opportunity to try to meet that responsibility head on. We said we have to work harder than we've ever worked before, because at least that way we'll know, that we did our best, and didn't take this gift lightly. Because the best experience was just being together, and so
that's so well said, though.
Well, you said it.
No, well, you were. I forgot.